In this lesson, we'll be looking at how to find the equation of a circle given the radius and the center. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing, like, you comment, and you share, so that when a new video is being published, you are going to be the very first person to be notified. Now let's start with some examples. Example 1 says that find the equation of a circle with center -1, -2 and radius 3. So first we have to practicalize this, and since we are talking about the equation of a circle, then we should draw a circle. Now we have our circle here nicely, and this circle has a center. Now the coordinates of the center is what is being given to us as -1, -2. Now the distance from the center to any point on the circle is what we call the radius, and the radius is given as r is equal to 3. So these are what we need to find the equation of a circle. Remember, from the equation of a circle, we said that the center, that is a, b, is given as -1, 2, and then the radius is equal to 3. The formula for finding the equation of a circle is what we know as r squared, which is equal to x minus a squared plus y minus b squared. Now we know r, and r is given as 3, so we substitute its value as 3 squared, which is equal to, since there is no x value, we maintain that of x, and there is minus e. Now from the center, we are saying the center a, b is given as -1, 2, which implies that a's value here is -1. So you bring our -1 here squared plus, now we know y, so we substitute that of y because there's no y value here. So you write y and then -2, that is squared. That's the value of b is -2. So you substitute that one. And here we can see that we're going to have 3 squared to be equal to x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared. Now this is what we call the standard form of the equation of a circle. Have here as the standard form of the equation of a circle. Now it doesn't end here. Questions like this demands us to simplify the standard form to the general form. So by continuing, then we are going to have here as 9 to be equal to x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared. So here we're going to expand the right hand side, maintaining 9 on the left hand side, which is equal to expanding x plus 1 squared. Here we are going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then expanding that of y minus 2 squared, we are going to have y squared minus 4y plus 4. That is it. Now you are going to rearrange or group like terms. Now in this case, we are going to maintain x squared, also maintain y squared, and then we continue with 2x, that is plus 2x, followed by minus 4y, and here we maintain plus 1, we also maintain plus 4, then we transpose 9, that is on the left hand side, to the right hand side. Here we have -9, and here we equate everything to 0. Now we can break this down, and we have x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y, and then plus 1 plus 4 minus 9 gives us minus of 4, which is equal to 0. So henceforth, the equation of a circle with center -1, 2 and radius of 3 is giving us x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y minus 4, which is equal to 0. Now this becomes the answer to this question, and this, you can call this as the general form of the equation of a circle. Now this becomes the general form of the equation of a circle. Now having understand this example, let's move to the next example so that we can gain more understanding and insights. That is example 2, and example 2 says that write the equation for the circle with the given center 5 comma negative 3 and radius 4. So to practicalize this, then since you are finding for the equation of a circle, then there is a circle here and this circle has a center, but the coordinates of this center is giving us 5 comma negative 3, and the distance from the center to a point on the circumference is what gives us the radius, and the radius is equal to 4. So the parameters here is the center, and from the equation of a circle we know that the center is giving us A comma B, and from the question the center is 5 comma minus 3, and then we have the radius R to be equal to 4. Now we want to find the equation of the circle. Now the equation of the circle is giving us R squared, which is equal to X minus A all squared plus Y minus B all squared. Now R squared from the question is giving us 4, so we have 4 squared is equal to X minus, now A is giving us 5, so we square it 2 plus Y, and B is giving us minus 3, also we score that one. Now here you can see that there is 4 squared, which is equal to X minus 5 all squared, and here we have plus Y plus 3 all squared. Remember that we said this is the standard form of the equation of a circle, and in questions like this it doesn't end at the standard form. It implies you have to break it down to the general form. Now the general form, expanding the left hand side, 4 squared gives us 16, which is equal to, now expanding X minus 5 all squared, then we are going to have X squared minus 10X plus 25, and then expanding Y plus 3 all squared, we are going to have Y squared plus 6Y plus 9. So here you are just going to group like terms. That is, we maintaining X squared, also maintaining that of Y squared, now maintaining that of minus 10X, and then maintaining plus 6Y, and here we are going to maintain plus 25 and also maintain plus 9. Now you're going to transpose 16 to the left hand side, to the right hand side, that becomes minus 16. Here we equate everything to 0. That is maintaining X squared plus Y squared minus 10X. Here we have plus 6Y. Now 25 plus 9 minus 16 gives us an answer of positive of 18, which is equal to 0. So this becomes the solution to this question. Means that the equation of a circle with a given center 5 comma negative 3 and radius of 4 is X squared plus Y squared minus 10X plus 6Y plus 18, which is equal to 0. And we can call this as the general form of the equation of a circle. So here we are as the general form of the equation of a circle. Now we are going to the next question, and if you know at this point you have not subscribed, liked, comment, or not even sharing, we'd encourage you to share so that others too can have access to this beautiful video, and also they can help them to understand concepts like this. Now we are moving to the next set of example. So that is example 3, and example 3 is saying that find the equation of a circle with center 0, 0 and radius of 2. At this point, you can pause the video and try your hands on this question. So we have here our solution as that, and the question is saying that we should find the equation of a circle with a given center of 0, 0, which implies that the coordinates of the center is 0, 0. And it has a radius of 2. So that is from here to this side is equal to 2. And remember, from the proof of the equation of a circle, we said that for any given equation of a circle with its center to be 0, 0, then the formula is giving us R squared, which is equal to X squared plus Y squared. Now, if you're not getting this, we can still go ahead with the general formula, and then still you're going to get the same thing. Now, following the general formula then means that to find the equation of a circle, then r squared is equal to x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared. So this is the formula we have been using so far. And we know the radius here to be 2, so you have 2 squared is equal to x minus. Now a here is known to be 0 because it has its center as 0, 0 squared plus y, b also known to be 0, so you have this squared. It means that 2 squared, we know the same thing to be 4, and x minus 0 is the same thing as x. Now the square affects only x here, so you have x squared, and then it's plus here, and then we know that y minus 0 is 0, so here we have y squared. So this implies that the equation of a circle with the center 0, 0 and radius of 2 is 4, which is equal to x squared plus y squared. Now this is what we have to note. For any given equation with center of 0, 0, you don't need to write r squared is equal to s minus a all squared. It's just by the formula r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. Now, since there is no s and then y from the question, we maintain it and then we substitute the value of r. In this question, r is known to be 2, so we are going to have it as 2 squared is equal to x squared plus y squared, which is basically the same thing as 4 is equal to x squared plus y squared. And at the end, you can see that you're all getting the same answer. You're all getting the same answer. So it's either you go by the general formula or the normal formula that we know, or you can also still think about it that if the center is 0, 0, then the formula for finding the equation of a circle becomes r squared, which is equal to x squared plus y squared. Now that is that. Now let's move to the last but one question for today's video. So we have here as example 4, and example 4 says that a circle with center 4, 3 touches the y-axis. Find its equation. Let's read it again. A circle with center 4, 3 touches the y-axis. Find its equation. So this is what it implies. So our solution here. Now, this is our Cartesian plane. And in our Cartesian plane, there is a circle. But this circle touches the y-axis. Now, let's label our axis. It means we have here as y and also have here as x. Now, there is a circle and the circle touches the y-axis. So here we draw beautifully and this is it. So you can see that this circle touches the y-axis. Now, if the circle touches the y-axis, now it's going to produce a center of 4, 3. So this circle has a center of 4. So the center of the circle has 4, 3. So we know this to be the center of the circle. Now, you want to find the equation of a circle. But in this equation of a circle, there is no radius. So this is how we get the radius. We can see that the distance from where the circle touches the y-axis to the center is basically the radius of the circle. Now let's see. The distance from the center to where y-axis is basically the radius, because you are saying that the distance from the center to any point on the circle give us the radius. So here we can see that the radius is nothing but the first coordinate of the center, that is x. So it means that from the center, from the Cartesian plane, that from where y-axis is to this side, is what we have here as 4. That is the value. And we can see that this side gives us the radius. And basically and practically, we can see that the distance from here to this side is the radius. And that is the same thing as 4. So it implies that our r here is equal to 4. So in questions like this, you have to be very careful and draw it. When you draw, you can make that deduction. Now, having known that, you can now go ahead with our solution. So it implies that this circle has its center, that is the center a, b, which is equal to 4, 3. And from what we draw, we do, we can see that our area is equal to 4. That is the distance from the center to any point on the circle, and that's basically the coordinates of the center. That's the x coordinate of the center, gives us the radius, and that is very logical. So here we quote the equation for finding the equation of a circle. That's the formula, and here we have r squared to be equal to x minus e. So we should clean it and rewrite it well. So we have x minus e all squared plus y minus b all squared. Now we know r to be 4, so you have 4 squared is equal to now x, and then a is known to be 4 plus y, and b is known to be 3. Now let's square. So 4 squared gives us 16, which is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 16. And then here we have plus y squared minus 6y plus 9. So here we have to group like terms. That is x squared plus y squared, and then we have minus 8x minus 6y. We maintain 16, we also maintain 9, and we transpose minus 16 to the right hand side, equating everything to 0. So here you can see that we are going to have our x squared and our y squared. We also have our 8x here, and then minus 6y, and we can see that 16, positive 16 and negative 16 goes away, and we are left with 9, which implies that our equation of a circle is now of this form. That is x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 6y plus 9, which is equal to 0. Now we're going to try the last example of this video, and it's just as similar as example 4. So when we get there, you take your time, you pause the video, and you try. Now that's example 5, and basically the same thing we did in example 4. So at this point, you can pause the video and try. Now it says that write the equation of a circle that is a tangent to the y-axis and has center at minus 5,6. Now let's see. We have our solution here, and from the question it says that you should find the equation of a circle that is tangent to the y-axis. Now if you say something is tangent to a circle, it means that that is a line that touches a circle at one point. Now practicalizing this, then if you have this circle, you can see that this straight line is a tangent to the circle because we can see that it touches the circle at a particular point or at a single point, and that is what we see here. So that's the meaning of tangent. Now applying the same idea to this question, they're saying that we should find the equation of a circle that is tangent to the y-axis. It means that the y-axis touches the equation of a circle, touches the circle at one point, and that is what we mean. So if you have here as our Cartesian plane, so if this is our Cartesian plane and we have our circle at this side, the circle is coming to the left hand side because of the center. Now we know that we are going to have our circle here, and the circle is going to touch the y-axis because the y-axis is a tangent to the circle. It means that this circle now touches the y-axis at a particular point, and just like we have done here, beautifully, just like we have done. So you can see that this circle touches the y-axis at this particular point, Now from the question, it stated that this circle has a center of minus 5,6, which implies that we are going to have here as minus 5, of 6, and that is the center. Now if that's the center, then it implies that from the center to any point on the circle gives us the radius. Means that the distance from the center to this point is the radius. And what is the radius? The radius is the same thing as the x-axis of the center. Now we can see that the center has axis of -5. That's the x-axis of -5, and the y-axis of what? Of 6. So if from here to this side, it means that from the x-axis to where this one is -5. So practically we can see that from the center to the y-axis also gives us the same distance as -5, and that becomes the radius. Now we can write here as r is equal to -5. So we have the radius here to be -5, and we have been able to get the radius. Now we can go ahead and find the equation of the circle. So basically we just have to divide our whiteboard, and we now have our radius here to be -5, and we know the center, that is a comma b, to be the same thing as -5 comma 6. Now by writing the equation of a circle's formula, that is squared, and then we have here as y minus b squared. You can see that our r is now -5. So this would have been -5. So we have -5 squared, which is equal to x minus, now we know a to be -5, so -5 squared plus, here we have y minus 6 squared. And by continuing, we know that -5 is the same thing as 25. So that's -5 squared giving us 25, which is equal to x plus 5 squared plus y minus 6 squared. So by expanding the right hand side, then we have x squared plus, now you have here as 10x plus 25. Here we have y squared minus 12y plus 36. So by rearranging, then we have here as x squared plus y squared, then we have plus 10x, then we have to write our 10 plus here, plus 10x, and then we have minus 12y, and then we transpose, so sorry, we maintain 25 here, and we maintain 36 here, and we transpose minus 25 and becomes minus 25 here. By continuing, then we are going to have x squared here plus y squared plus 10x, then minus 12y, and we can see that the positive 25 take away the negative 25, and we are left here with plus 36, which is equal to 0. So this becomes the equation of a circle that is tangent to the y-axis and has a center of -5, 6. Now this ends today's video, and we end our lessons here. So thank you for watching. Kindly like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Maths, thinking beyond infinity.